Alright, so I thought I'd take this video to talk about the timeline of Justice League and what we know about the Snyder Cut so far. I know Chris Wan and other people have made videos about this timeline, but I thought I'd go over it and try to hit every major detail from the last 2 years that fully supports the Snyder Cut, you know what I'm saying? And I wrote down all this information, and I'm telling you, just looking at it, it's just way too much of a coincidence, right? All this stuff is not random. There's a reason all this stuff has happened with the Snyder Cut, and it most certainly does exist. So let me get into this timeline and go over the Snyder Cut, or what we know as the Snyder Cut of Justice League. But first, let's go back to where it all started. And for me, where it really starts is the end of the Justice League production, the principal photography production. And Justice League wrapped filming in October 7th, 2016. That's when the film wrapped filming, and that's when post-production officially started. And they started working on special effects and everything like that. Skip ahead a little bit to Zack Snyder's Vero. On December 14th, 2016, he posts an image of Aquaman that we've never seen before, and still haven't seen technically in the movie. And the caption says, "Working in the dark." So, in December, we already see Zack Snyder is working on the film. By this time in December, they're already 2 months in to working on this film. So just keep that in mind. Jump ahead a little bit again. January 27th, 2017. Wonder Woman working hard on Justice League post-production. Another post Zack Snyder had on Vero. And it's a shot of Gal Gadot doing line work for scenes that aren't in the movie. I haven't seen that scene in the movie. So we can already tell that they are finishing scenes that aren't going to be in the movie at all. And by January 27th, that's already over 3 months in post-production, okay? So they've gotten a lot of scenes done already. And they're going back with the actors to redo their lines and clean up stuff. They're already doing that by January 27th. February 17th, 2017, Zack Snyder posts a behind-the-scenes image of Justice League. And not even a week later, February 22nd, 2017, Zack Snyder posts probably the most important post from this year. And that's a picture of Rorschach on the top of a staircase. And his caption reads, "Never compromise, not even in the face of Armageddon." And this is February 22nd. So that means they've been in post-production for over 4 months, almost 5 months. We've seen behind-the-scenes images of scenes on Justice League that aren't in the movie, and now we have Zack Snyder saying never compromise, not even in the face of Armageddon. So I'm going to assume that this is the exact time Warner Brothers was pressuring him to do reshoots and stuff and change the movie, because the film was coming out a lot darker than they wanted it. But Zack Snyder's still on the movie at this point. So we go ahead to March 1st, 2017, and Zack Snyder posts the Aquaman clip. And the caption reads, "Working on my birthday." So he just keeps working every day on this film for 5 months after they finished filming back in October. March 23rd, 2017, Zack Snyder posts the Justice League poster, the first Justice League poster, on his Vero and other social medias. So by the end of March of 2017, Zack Snyder's still 100% invested in Justice League. He's trying to promote the movie. And this is the time between February and May of 2017. This is the time where supposedly Batman on Film and a small group of people with various other websites, possibly Heroic Gateway also, this is the time frame that they saw the screening of Zack Snyder's original Justice League film with some unfinished special effects. But it's in this time frame that they saw the movie, between February and May. And Batman on Film's quote from seeing the test screening is, "Justice League is going to blow your minds. It's going to really impress you." That is what Batman on Film said after seeing the unfinished Snyder Cut from early on in 2017. May 22nd, so almost 2 months after Zack Snyder was posting Justice League posters on his Vero account, Zack Snyder steps down from Justice League to deal with his family tragedy, of course. And this is when Joss Whedon took over and did the Warner Brothers reshoots that Warner Brothers wanted to do. This is when it happened. Zack Snyder never stopped promoting Justice League. He never stopped talking about these characters, and he never stopped talking about Justice League after he left the project. That's a huge detail, because if he really did get fired from Justice League, he wouldn't have said a word about Justice League. What kind of person gets fired from a movie and then keeps talking about the movie, Like they're still working on it. Like they're still a part of it if they were fired, right? So I think it's pretty obvious Zack Snyder was never fired from Justice League, and he's still the credited director, and he definitely deserves to make his director's cut. But let's go ahead and jump from the time he left Justice League to the actual film's release, because we all know how Joss Whedon messed up the movie. We don't have to go through, all the news that came out before Justice League was coming out, right? We all know what happened. I just want to talk about the evidence that proves that there's a Snyder Cut, really. That's what I'm talking about right now, But we jump from May 22nd, 2017 to November 15th, 2017, the day Justice League released in theaters. And throughout that whole time, Zack Snyder was constantly posting about Justice League and Wonder Woman and Batman and Superman, He never stopped posting about Justice League. I'm just not going to go over every single one. But November 15th, the movie came out. We all know what happened. November 17th, 2 days later, Zack Snyder has said he has not seen the movie. November 18th, 2017, 3 days after release, the first leaked Justice League deleted scenes, with Iris West being saved by Flash, and the Cyborg VR Mother Box origin deleted scene. Both of those are leaked on the same day, November 18th, 3 days after the movie comes out in theaters. November 19th, fan petition is started, and within 2 months, this petition got over 160,000 signatures. All right, this was no joke. Okay, a lot of people signed this. And I know constantly media sites try to play off petitions as if they mean nothing. And they even tried to tank this petition by saying all the signatures were fake because they probably couldn't believe that so many people would want to see this. And that petition still has way more signatures than I've ever seen for any other movie, I've never seen this many people sign a petition for a director's cut. But of course, this petition got shady because the guy who made the petition was trying to make money off of it. So that's what kind of killed the petition. But still, it shows that almost 200,000 people were interested day one, in a director's cut. But continuing on, November 21st, 2017, Justice League cinematographer Fabian Wagner also wants the Snyder Cut. He was one of the first people to come out with his own name and say that he wants to see Zack Snyder's director's cut. November 21st, same day, Batman stunt double Richard Citrone wants the Snyder Cut as well. So you got people from the actual movie coming out and saying they want the Zack Snyder director's cut. November 28th, 2017. Now this is the big one. Source claims that Snyder Cut exists in relevant form, which means not only does it exist, but it has a lot of finished special effects and music. And what makes this even more interesting is that Zack Snyder liked this post. So by November 28th, 2017, only 13 days after Justice League's initial release, we have a theory that's supported by Zack Snyder that the original cut of the film was near completion and it had a lot of finished special effects and a lot of finished music. And that theory is supported by Zack Snyder. So that alone should give you plenty of reason to believe that the Snyder Cut exists, right? But no, people need more, right? People need more. November 30th, 2017, a few days later, we find out about the WB and AT&T merger that turned Justice League into a Frankenstein movie. That became official news on that day. And we all figured out that Justice League really was shredded apart last second. December 1st, 2017, Kevin Smith podcast, where he talks about how he wants to see the Snyder Cut, and he starts going over a list of deleted scenes. And then somebody from the audience stands up and says, "I've seen the early version of Justice League in a screening," and starts corroborating all these deleted scenes that Kevin Smith is talking about in this podcast. That's December 1st. December 10th, Steppenwolf actor Clarence Hines reportedly unhappy with the theatrical cut of Justice League and wants the Zack Snyder version. Another actor coming out and talking about the Snyder Cut. And Justice League at this point hasn't even been out for 2 months. And you already have more and more people talking about how they want to see the director's cut that worked on the film. December 15th, 2017, Justice League director of photography recalls filming the black suit of Superman. So we're getting even more confirmation that there was a lot of deleted scenes that were cut out of the film. December 26, 2017, fans announce the For Snyder Cut website for the Justice League Director's Cut. January 1st, 2018, revealed that all Superman scenes were put on the cutting room floor by Joss Whedon, which means Joss Whedon is the one that got rid of most, if not all, the Superman scenes that Zack Snyder did and did the reshoots, and that's why we have the CGI mustache for most of the film, because Joss Whedon got rid of damn near all the Superman scenes that Zack Snyder shot. January 5th, 2018, new leaked deleted scene of Alfred meeting the team. That's when that deleted scene first leaked out, and getting even more confirmation that there's a lot of the movie that is done, and there's probably even more deleted scenes we don't even know about. January 16th, 2018, Snyder Cut website is officially launched. And, this website always fascinates me because I don't see many other movies get a website launched just to get the director's cut of the movie, This doesn't happen often. This is a pretty big thing that's happened. And definitely go check out the website if you haven't already. I'll put the link to the website in the description. It's where most of this timeline stuff is coming from. But a lot of this timeline is also coming from Vero, Zack Snyder's Vero account. You can literally just scroll through all his Vero posts from the last 2 years. And you'll see countless Justice League images from the last 2 years. It's insane. But the last big thing on the Snyder Cut timeline of this director's cut is January 30th, 2018. And the website is yet to update their timeline. I think they really should update the timeline because there's a lot of stuff that's happened since. But this is their last post on the timeline, and it supports the theory from earlier. And it reads, January 30th, 2018, Zack Snyder supports Justice League cut theory that the movie was closer to being finished than most fans realize. And that's the last post for the Snyder Cut timeline. But the rest I got here is Vero posts from Zack Snyder from February to now. But right before I go through them, because I'm going to go through them kind of quickly, February 14th, 2018, /film posts Dark Side storyboards. And these Dark Side storyboards look just like Zack Snyder's storyboards, so I think it's safe to assume they're his. Especially when you compare them to the Cyborg storyboards, they're very similar. But anyway, on to Zack Snyder's Vero posts. February 23rd, Snyder posts his cut thumb. And he was probably just playing this one for laughs, but still, it's become the symbol of the Snyder Cut, And the same day he posts the Superman photo, found this guy, just a random Superman photo that we haven't seen before. He posts February 25th, 2018, Zack Snyder promotes Fiona. This is really significant because Fiona is constantly supporting the Snyder Cut. She's heavily involved on the website. I think it's her website, if I'm not mistaken, the ForSnyderCut.com. And on February 25th, Zack Snyder promoted her himself. So, why would a director promote somebody that constantly talks about the Snyder Cut? Unless the director wants them to keep talking about it for some reason, But anyway, continuing. March 3rd, 2018, Justice League Aquaman. This guy. Another shot of Aquaman we haven't seen before. March 5th, Justice League Iris West. This kid. March 6th, 2018, Justice League Flash. This guy in the t-shirt. This is the Black Freighter shirt. March 8th, Justice League Martha and Lois sitting in the Kent farm with the caption, These Ladies. March 14th, 2018, the shot of the cemetery with the whole Justice League. Caption, This Crew. March 22nd, just a random picture of Amber Heard as Mira from Justice League, a shot we never got to see in the movie. March 30th, 2018, another cut Aquaman shot from Justice League. And this is all Zack Snyder's postings. Everything I've read off so far is all just Zack Snyder's Vero. March 31st, the next day, football image of Cyborg. A football Victor Stone scoring a touchdown. Caption, Believe. April 21st, 2018. First of all, I shot it. Hashtag Justice League. And it's the picture of the rooftop with Jim Gordon and Batman. April 23rd, 2018. This fella. And it's a shot of Deathstroke on the yacht at the end, which Zack Snyder did shoot this end credit scene, but Joss Whedon redid the Lex Luthor lines. So we still don't know exactly what Lex Luthor said at the end. April 30th, 2018. Happy birthday to Gal Gadot. With a never-before-seen Justice League image. I'm assuming this image is from Justice League because it looks like that same white outfit she's wearing in the museum. May 15th, 2018. The costume prototype statues for Justice League and Batman vs. Superman. Zack Snyder just posts it just because, it doesn't have to do with anything. May 16th, 2018. Cyborg Motherbox storyboards are posted on Zack Snyder's Vero. And May 24th, 2018, just last week, more Cyborg storyboards. Now, what are we to learn from all this? Is it all a coincidence that Zack would post all of this stuff in the span of 4 months? And let's not forget about all the posts before February throughout 2017 and 18. So the man constantly talks about Justice League and Batman vs. Superman, but we're supposed to believe he was fired from Justice League. There's been a few theories going around that the Snyder Cut of Justice League has been done with most of the special effects done and the music done, and Zack Snyder supports that theory, but we're not supposed to read into that at all. We're supposed to believe that they didn't have any of the movie done in the 6 months between the end of the principal photography, which was October 7th, and when Zack Snyder left in May 22nd, 2017. 6 months later, he left. And we're supposed to believe they didn't get anything done on this movie, and it's unfinished, and it doesn't exist, right? But I'll let you be the judge. I just read out all the timelines of all these events, and it just proves to me that there is a Snyder Cut, alright? All this can't be a coincidence, it's not random. And what do you guys think? Obviously, if you're subscribing, wanting to hear this, you believe the Snyder Cut exists, but I just had to make this video anyway because on the video that I have that blew up and almost has like 50,000 views, I get a comment every day on that video of somebody saying that Snyder Cut doesn't exist. And I just think it's people that are not informed at all. I just don't think they're informed about what's happening. Because if they knew all of these events and all these Vero posts that Zack Snyder's posted in just the last 3 months alone, that would be enough to convince anybody it's real. And of course we have the recent rumors that an actor saw the Snyder Cut recently. And Zack Snyder is actually going to be screening the cut for the actors and the crew first before anybody. So that's all we know so far. I don't know if they're going to talk about this at Comic-Con. It's really up in the air whether or not Warner Brothers is going to talk about this at Comic-Con. But honestly, they can announce this any day and we would all buy it. They could announce it for $100 and I would buy it. I would spend $100 on this cut. I don't give a fuck. I want to see it bad. People have already seen it, including Batman on film and maybe even Heroic Gateway. Back in 2017, at the beginning of 2017, when they were having screenings of Zack Snyder's cut. So that's probably when they saw the cut. So that's it for now. Let me know what you guys think down below. With all this evidence, it's very clear that the Snyder Cut exists, and I'm going to keep supporting it till we fucking see it. It might come out this year, it might come out next year, it might come out like 5 years down the line, but I'm hoping we get it sooner rather than later. And if enough fans speak up and enough people start to get outspoken about this, we could get it. That's all it takes is fan support and we can get this a lot quicker and we won't have to wait as long for it. But anyway, that's it for now. I'll see y'all on the next one.